This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth with breaking news. The officer who was involved in the death of George Floyd, Derek Chauvin, has now been arrested and charged with third-degree murder and manslaughter. Here is the official announcement on that.
Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin has been charged by the Hennepin County Attorney's Office with murder and with manslaughter. Questions?
Yes, what charge of murder?
He has been charged with third-degree murder. We are in the process of continuing to review the evidence. There may be subsequent charges later.
Maybe subsequent charges later. Of course, he's referring to the other officers, but as it is right now, Derek Chauvin is arrested, is in custody, and is charged, rightfully so, with third-degree murder and manslaughter. What a lot of people don't know about this particular man is that he had 18 previous complaints against him, according to the police. It says here the former Minneapolis police officer seen in the video with his knee on George Floyd's neck had 18 prior complaints filed against him with the Minneapolis Police Department's internal affairs, according to the police department. So this guy has a pretty long history of these types of incidents. In fact, he was involved in some other cases that involved death. So this particular officer seems to have a history of these things, and that's why it's excellent news today that we've taken a step in the right direction when it comes to laying charges. Now, I'm sure people are going to be calling for the rest of these guys to be charged, but as he said here, investigations are continuing, ongoing, so we'll see what comes of that. Meanwhile, President Trump has threatened to send in the National Guard in the tragic fallout to the death of George Floyd, and they've already actually rolled out some of the National Guard there in Minneapolis, and this comes following a tweet from the president where he says, "I can't stand back and watch this happen to great American city, Minneapolis. A total lack of leadership. Either the very weak, radical left mayor, Jacob Frey, get his act together and bring the city under control, or I will send in the National Guard and get the job done right. These thugs are dishonoring the member of George Floyd, and I won't let it happen. Just spoke to Governor Tim Walz and told him that the military is with him all the way. Any difficulty, and we will assume control. But, as he says, when the looting starts, the shooting starts." And this has actually prompted the tweet to be censored by Twitter. Take a look at this. Here it is. These thugs are dishonoring the member of George. When the looting starts, the shooting starts, and Twitter put this little warning here. This tweet violated the Twitter rules about glorifying violence. However, Twitter has determined that it may be in the public's interest for the tweet to remain accessible. What the heck are they talking about? Well, they've decided that the president's tweet violates the terms of Twitter, his tweet, but they're going to let it stay up there anyways because it's in the public interest. Twitter generally actions tweets that violate our rules. However, we recognize that sometimes it may be in the public interest to allow people to view tweets that would otherwise be taken down. We consider content to be in the public interest if it directly contributes to understanding or discussion of a matter of public concern. At present time, we limit exceptions to one critical type of public interest content, tweets from elected and government officials. Given the significant public interest in knowing and being able to discuss their actions and statements, as a result, in rare instances, we may choose to leave up a tweet from an elected government official that would otherwise be taken down. Instead, we will place it behind a notice providing context about the rule violation that allows people to click through to see the tweet. Placing a tweet behind this notice also limits the ability to engage with the tweet through likes, retweets, or sharing on Twitter, and make sure the tweet isn't algorithmically recommended by Twitter. So they are literally kind of shadow banning the president right now. It's not a full out ban. It's not a blatant outright censorship, but they're just saying, hey, now this is not necessarily correct. The president may be wrong. Maybe you need to double look into this. Well, we know they have a monopoly on information. They have a monopoly on the free flow of information online, and the president is now fighting back against this as he just announced that he's signed an executive order to deal with the censorship coming at the hands of the media? Let's tune into this for a sec.
Couple of minutes and you'll see exactly what we're doing. They've had unchecked power to censor, restrict, edit, shape, hide, alter virtually any form of communication between private citizens or large public audiences. There's no precedent in American history for so small a number of corporations to control so large a sphere of human interaction, and that includes individual people controlling vast amounts of territory, and we can't allow that to happen, especially when they go about doing what they're doing, because they're doing things incorrectly. They have points of view, and if we go by that, it's actually amazing that there was a success in 2016, but we can't let this continue to happen. It's very, very unfair. And you look at the statistics and you look at what is going on, and I think everybody would very much agree with that, including Democrats, by the way. I saw quite a few Democrats are saying this is about time something is done. So let's see if they keep that decision after they hear that we agree with them. The choices that Twitter makes when it chooses to suppress, edit, blacklist, shadow, ban, are editorial decisions, pure and simple. They're editorial decisions. In those moments, Twitter ceases to be a neutral public platform and they become an editor with a viewpoint.
Boom, there it is.
And I think we can say that about others also, whether you're looking at Google, whether you're looking at Facebook, and perhaps others. One egregious example is when they try to silence views that they disagree with by selectively applying a fact check, F-A-C-T, fact check. What they choose to fact check and what they choose to ignore or even promote is nothing more than a political activism group or political activism. And it's inappropriate. You look at what's happened, you look at where they're going, where they're coming from. I think you all see it yourselves. This censorship and bias is a threat to freedom itself. Imagine if your phone company silenced or edited your conversation. Social media companies have vastly more power and more reach than any phone company in the United States, more reach actually than your newspapers by far, more reach than a lot of your traditional forms of communication. Therefore, today I'm signing an executive order to protect and uphold the free speech and rights of the American people. Currently, social media giants like Twitter receive an unprecedented liability shield based on the theory that they're a neutral platform, which they're not an editor with a viewpoint. My executive order calls for new regulations under Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act to make it that social media companies that engage in censoring or any political conduct will not be able to keep their liability shield. That's a big deal. They have a shield. They can do what they want. They have a shield. They're not going to have that shield. My executive order further instructs the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, to prohibit social media companies from engaging in any deceptive acts or practices affecting commerce. This authority resides in Section 5 of the Federal Trade Commission Act. I think you know it pretty well. Most of you know it very well. I would think you know it quite well, right? Additionally, I'm directing the Attorney General to work cooperatively with the states. He's going to be working very much and very closely in cooperation with the states to enforce their own laws against such deceptive business practices. The states have broad and powerful authority to regulate in this arena, and they'll be doing it also, and we encourage them to do it if they see exactly as we've been seeing. It's what they're doing is tantamount to monopoly, you can say. It's tantamount to taking over the airwaves. Can't let it happen.
Can't let it happen. Tantamount to a monopoly on information. And, I'm no fan of Trump or any president for that matter. Anybody who's been watching my material over the years will know that. But this is certainly a step in the right direction when it comes to pushing back against censorship. Because, as you know, we here at Press for Truth are heavily shadow banned because of the information that we bring to the table. So perhaps this is a step in the right direction when it comes to pushing back against these major tech conglomerates. But really, the good news for today is the fact that this man right here is currently being charged and arrested and charged with third-degree murder and manslaughter, which is something that absolutely needed to happen. Now, it remains to be seen what's going to happen to the other officers. This one officer in particular who was standing by watching the whole thing, don't know how you pronounce his name, Thao or something like that, Tao, had 6 complaints filed with Internal Affairs, one of which is still open, according to the public summary released Thursday. The other 5 complaints have been closed without discipline. So if you didn't know, there were a number of other officers involved in that incident. There were 2 other guys, including Chauvin, who were kneeling on George Floyd, 3 of them kneeling on him all together. So I don't think the people of Minneapolis are going to really feel that justice has been served until all 4 officers are criminally charged. But again, the breaking news today is good news. It is a step in the right direction. That man, Derek Chauvin, has been arrested and charged with 3rd-degree murder and manslaughter, and rightly so. Folks, click the thumbs up button if you appreciate that information that's coming to the table. Share this video. Let people know that things are moving in a good direction, but Minneapolis is still very much at a tipping point. It remains to be seen where this is going to go in the near future, so we're going to continue to track this one as it develops, guys, but I just wanted to bring this news to your attention that Chauvin has been arrested and charged with 3rd-degree murder and manslaughter, as he should have been for the death of George Floyd. Once again, guys, please click that thumbs up button, share this video, let people know that things are developing in a good way, but they have to continue on this track. Otherwise, an all-out civil war, an all-out race war can be breaking out in the United States. So it really comes down to this trial that is currently pending. But we're going to be here documenting it as it continues to develop. So if you haven't subscribed to us here yet, please make sure you do. Hit the subscribe button right now. And please check the links in the description to find out where you can subscribe to us on other channels that will not censor us. It's a pretty good possibility that this executive order will really amount to not a whole heck of a lot when it comes to the control that these social media companies have. So we still need to continue to migrate off of these platforms and onto the more decentralized, censorship-resistant platforms. So please do that. Links are located in the description below. So once again, just wanted to bring the good news to you today. Chauvin has been arrested and charged with 3rd-degree murder and manslaughter, as he should have been. If you like that news, folks, please click the thumbs up button, share this video, and stay tuned for more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.